Hey everybody, it's Cindy here, and I want to talk to you today about handling family dynamics and different group dynamics in the holiday season. Okay, so last night in my monthly workshop, we dealt with some of these things and got some great ideas and shared some great feedback with each other on some of the scenarios that we come up with at holiday time when we're with larger groups of people or with our family that maybe only gathers every so often and that kind of thing, and some things that can come up. So I'm just going to visit with you about a few scenarios in this training today. And then you can let me know, comment below what other scenarios you find yourself in that I could possibly address on a future video blog. So feel free to comment below and let me know questions that you have or other ideas as you hear me, as you listen to this. And then also, I have a year-long coaching program that's going to start up January 1. So this next month, I want to get people enrolled that are interested in it. So, hey, if you want to apply for my year-long confidence coaching mastermind experience, also comment below and let me know you'd like to apply. My clients are getting awesome results in their lives. They're changing how they think. They're developing new success habits and creating all kinds of things that they want. The bodies they want, the relationships they want, the businesses they want, how they want their home environment to be. They're learning awesome communication skills, all kinds of things where they really feel like they're taking their power back in their lives and finally have the self-love and confidence to create anything and everything that they want. So I'd like to see you do that in 2019. So let me know you want to apply. I'm only going to take 10 people. So, I think it'll fill up quickly. So if you really have an interest, comment below and let me know and we'll get started. We'll get you going. Okay, so anyway, family dynamics, right, in the holidays. So the main way to cope with the holidays well and have a peaceful holiday season is to keep your boundaries very clear for yourself, where you're at in all kinds of areas. For example, you may have very different budget levels amongst your family, and a lot of people may want to do some gift giving or that kind of thing, and you're thinking, gosh, I can't afford to get everybody gifts, or I don't choose to spend my money that way. And so you want to put up a boundary about that and just say, here's what my budget is, or here's what I'm willing to do, and here's what I'm not going to participate in. And don't be afraid. You don't have to involve yourself in a gift exchange if you don't want to do that. If you don't have the money for it, or you just don't want to spend your money that way. You can just say, even though I'm coming to the gathering, I don't need to receive any gifts, and I'm not going to buy any gifts. Boom. I'd rather just spend time with you. That's the gift to me. That kind of thing. If you want to participate in the gift giving, you might, and a budget is an issue, you might suggest that people draw names, or that there be a $10 gift limit, or that you, or whatever amount, I'm just making stuff up here, or that you get family gifts, like each family gets a gift instead of every single member of every single family within your family, or things like that, or the kids buy for the other kids and the adults buy for the other adults, or couples buy for couples, or something like that simplifies the process. And another way to make gift giving, if you're going to do it, a simpler, more joy-filled activity is not running all over town 20 times to find just the right gift, but maybe you give everybody kind of the same gift. Like this year, everybody gets a new scarf, or everybody gets your favorite book that you find, very inspirational or entertaining, or everybody gets a gift card to this place, or, make it simple. A gift is meant to be, something, a gesture, right? A gesture of love, or a symbol of a relationship. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be fancy schmancy, or it doesn't have to be, unless that's what you want to do. If you find joy in all of this, fabulous. But if you're trying to simplify your life, those are some ideas, okay? Also, for some people, making gifts is much more joy-filled, maybe more time-consuming, maybe more budget-friendly or not, just depending on what it is. And so that's another thing to consider or look at. Okay, now let's talk about the whole hoopla around it all. Some of you feel pressure in the holiday to do everything, cook everything homemade, decorate to the nines, all these kinds of things that we tell ourselves we're supposed to be doing, and our society certainly pushes that agenda really, really well. And so, again, boundaries. I want you to go, yeah, what do I really want to do? What makes this really a meaningful, joy filled holiday for me? Is it really all this stuff? If it is, great, go for it. Then don't complain about it. It's your choice. If it's not all that stuff, then ask yourself what it is. What would make it look, feel, sound, smell, taste, how you want it to for yourself. Okay? And do those things. Do only what you really want to do, what you really find joy and meaning behind. Because what is this all about anyway? It's not about the retail show that it is. There's meaning behind holiday times, significant meaning beyond the shopping and the stuffing of the stockings and the whole thing. The meaning, I hope, for you has either a significant religious or spiritual meaning, or a significant meaning around your loved ones who's most important in your life, and however you like to express that, right? Okay, so, and also we want to end the year feeling really, really good, not stressed out, exhausted, overwhelmed, broke, fat, you know, all those things, right? So boundaries around all of that, making sure you're getting your rest and so forth. I'm going off on a tangent here. Okay, let me dial it in a little. Let me reel it in. Reel it in, Cindy, reel it in. Let's talk about communication with people and how to handle different personalities at the family gatherings or the office parties or the wherever you're going this holiday season. So you're all together in your family, and there's the negative Nelly in the family, or negative Nellies, or negative Nicks. And they're, doom and gloom about everything in the world. They're doom and gloom about everything in life. They're kind of the Eeyores, Eeyore in the Winnie the Pooh cartoon, and he's the one that goes ho hum, and everything's always bad and awful and down, and he's a downer to be around, right? And you may have some of those in your family, and you may be like, wow, I'm the unicorns and rainbow person. I don't want to be around the Eeyores, right? So how do you handle it? Well, I would give yourself as much space from them as you can, and I would not try to talk them out of it. Been there, done that. Tried to tell Eeyore, no, the sun's shining. Eeyore, the sun is shining. No, the clouds are in the sky, is what Eeyore sees. So you don't have to really change anybody's mind. You don't have to agree with them or disagree with them. So you can listen for a little while if you want to and go, oh, wow, I hadn't thought about life that way. Oh, that's interesting. Thanks for sharing. And then get out of the conversation. You could start a different conversation. You could leave the conversation and start, mixing with other people in the room, or go sit somewhere else. Or as someone suggested at my workshop last night, which I thought was brilliant, is say to that person you want to get out of the conversation with, oh, excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom. And leave and go to the bathroom. Make sure you flush and run the water so they think you went and you washed your hands. I love that suggestion. That is fantastic. And it's so believable, right? And it's not rude. And it's just, it's a really good way to remove yourself from a difficult conversation, right? Okay. So then you may have the family member. Sorry, I just love that so much. Thank you. You know who you are. Then there's the person in the family who brings up all the crap from the family history, right? Yeah, 20 years ago this happened. Remember 10 years ago when that happened? Or last year, oh my gosh, when so-and-so did this. And you're thinking, really? Can we let go of the past? Wasn't the past actually in the past? Can we please be in this year, this day, right now, present, right? So you're kind of frustrated with that, or you don't want people just digging up the dirt on the family and talking that way when you're trying to celebrate a holiday and have some fun together. So there's several things you can do. You can ignore this person for one thing, and you can say, I know that is part of our past as a family, but let's just enjoy today. Can we just enjoy today and have some fun? And then suggest things that are fun or start a conversation that's more pleasant. If that person needs to continue down that path, they will, and they'll find somebody to listen to them, but it doesn't have to be you. Remember one of my famous lines that I heard from somebody else once years ago, and I can't remember who, but said, when someone throws you a ball, you don't have to catch it, right? So if somebody's throwing the ball of, yeah, remember when this happened in our family and how awful that was and how terrible she was, you see that ball coming, and what a lot of us do is go, oh, I got to catch it, I got to deal with it, I got to say something about it. But actually you don't. You can just go, oh, let the ball drop and roll away. So in other words, just not say, oh, stop talking about that, that's in the past. You don't have to get upset. You can just go, oh, if you want to say something, again, you can say something like, oh, yeah, yeah, I really just want to enjoy today. Can we just focus on right now and have a great time? I think that would be so nice, or guess what? Guess what's going on with me? Let's talk about this, or just change the subject or leave the conversation. It's okay. Then you may have the critical person in your family, the one who, no matter what you're doing with your life, no matter how you're showing up, they've got something to criticize. Someone last night in the workshop said that she has someone in her family that always has something to say about how her appearance has changed. Her hair's different, or now she's fatter, or now she's thinner, or now she's grayer, or now, whatever. Those people in your family who always have something negative to say that feels like a criticism. Okay, well, a thing that Virginia Satir, who was a groundbreaking family therapist back in the day, she's deceased now, but I studied her a lot in college and graduate school when I was becoming a counselor. And she said that a client once said to her, "You look like an ugly pig." This client said this to her in a session, and you know what she said? She said, "Oh, thank you so much for noticing me." She didn't let it bother her at all. She smiled and said, "Thank you." I love that. So what could be your form of thanking someone who's criticizing you? You could say the same exact thing. "Wow, thank you so much for noticing me." Or "Thank you so much for caring." "Oh, thanks for sharing your opinion about that. I hadn't thought of it that way." "Oh, thanks. Thanks. Thank you for, thanks." And smile. I have a cousin who says, and when he deals with mean people, he says to me, "Cindy, just nice them to death. Just nice them to death. They won't know what to do." I love that. My cousin Denny in Arkansas suggested that to me once years ago, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's perfect. That is brilliant. I use it all the time. So when people are mean or negative or critical or just bringing an energy to your holiday gatherings that you don't want to participate in, you can just nice them to death and get out of the conversation as soon as possible and move on to people you have more in common with. I guess I would suggest, that main also is to remember you don't have to agree with people or disagree with them. You can be neutral and present with people. And that's when you say things like I've already said, "Oh, that's interesting," or "Thank you for sharing," or "Wow, I haven't thought of it that way." And then, excuse yourself and go on to another conversation or go to the bathroom or leave. That's another thing to keep in mind is if you're super uncomfortable in one of your gatherings for whatever reason, everybody's getting drunk or, everybody's swearing or everybody's, getting negative and difficult and you don't want to engage in that, you can also excuse yourself from the gathering and go home. Or go somewhere else. It's okay. You can say, "Hey, thank you so much for having me over. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed the meal. It's nice to see everyone. And now I need to go." And just go. It's okay. You can leave when you want to leave. That's the beauty of going to somebody else's house. Now, if they're at your house and they're not respecting how you want this day to go, then you got to put your big girl pants on, right? And get really confident and say something. You can say something to the one person who's trying to ruin it for everybody, or maybe they don't even realize, or if the whole group's getting out of hand, whatever's going on, it's okay to say something. You could say, I feel like maybe our visit is reaching a different level than I was hoping for today. So I'm feeling like maybe we need to wrap this up and call it a day. Thank you so much for coming. I love that you came. Here's your casserole dish. Thanks for bringing the green bean casserole. And let me help you get your things out to the car. Right? Right? It's okay. It's your house. It's your house. You're in charge. And they can be angry or not, or they can, be difficult or not as they're going out the door. It's okay. You can really set the tone and the standard for what goes on in your home. And if you're not liking how things are evolving, then I would begin to wrap up the festivities and help people get gathered up to leave. And it's okay. Again, it's all about boundaries. It's all about being confident enough to show up how you choose to show up at these gatherings, whether you're hosting them or not, and staying in kindness, love, truth, and grace all the time, no matter what, and not tolerating anything that you don't want to tolerate. It's really okay. And that's really what I'm talking about, is finding your own language for that, your own way to be present in that, and not letting people get to you, even your family who you love so much and you have decades of history with, not letting them get to you. Okay? That's another thing, is I say to people all the time, we humans tend to be sponges. And what I mean by that is we tend to soak up everything around us, like we have to take it on, like a sponge soaks up water, the water on the counter or under the faucet. We tend to be like that, and we think, oh gosh, she's being mean, I got to take that in, or there she goes with that attitude again. I gotta listen and give her some attention, give her some of my energy. No, you don't. Stop being a sponge. Don't take everything in. Wring yourself out. Get it all out of you, and then show up as you. Show up as you with the spirit and personality that you want to show up with. You're not 5 years old anymore. You don't have to be afraid of these people. You are a grown-up, and you can handle yourself just fine. And you can handle anything they've got to dish out. And so find your own way. Find your words for it or your decisions. It's a decision to stay. It's a decision to go. It's a decision to invite, and it's a decision to release people when they're not respecting the kind of gathering that you really wanted to have. So I hope these tips help a little bit and give you some thoughts on how to handle some difficult group dynamics. You do not have to participate in anything that does not feel aligned with who you really are or what your intentions are. And so pick and choose carefully this season. This will help you stay healthy and physically strong and emotionally strong. And it will also help you truly have a more joy-filled, meaningful, relaxing holiday and move you into the new year feeling really, really good. So, again, let me know if you want to apply for my year-long confidence coaching program. I'm telling you, it will change your life, and you deserve to have everything you want. And I've been doing this for 30 years. I know what I'm doing. So come on, join me. We'll have a great time. I can't wait to get started, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.